My name's John. I'm the current DM of our campaign that we're running. The campaign is called Legacy of the Twin Blades. None of my players know what that means yet. So, brief little overview, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty after everybody introduces their characters that they're playing. So, the campaign is set in the world of Celium, and it is one that is brand new. Nobody else has this. It has been created by a few different people from the community of Code 7 Gaming, gaming community that we are all a part of, and that hosts our DM sessions. It's a great community. Feel free to follow it on Discord, jump in. It's open to everybody. Great community to be a part of. We have a few different city-states or realms within the general area of Celium. We have Orient, which is the Dwarven realm. Then we have 3 somewhat human realms that have a lot of other races that are a part of it, and they are Elan, Terene, and Neanderthal. Then you have the High Elves, which is Gondolin. Then you have the Woodland Realm, or the Wood Elves, and that is known as Arel. And then you have a kind of like a coastal, more or less a port realm. Most of their trade is done over the seas. The only real neighbor that they have is Arel, and it is known as Helene. We've really done about 3 good sessions so far for the campaign, and we're looking to progress that even more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let the players introduce their characters themselves. Iron Wolf, if you want to start this off, considering you're part of the campaign as well.
All right. Thank you, John. So my character plays a tiefling fighter. He goes by the name of Killicass. And he wasn't a part of the first 2 sessions. He didn't join in until the last session, which was last Wednesday, wasn't it?
It was.
And that's when he stumbled upon the other guys. A little bit of backstory. My character, he's been in the military since he could walk. He's done everything you can think of. Even if he wasn't out on the battlefield, some way or another, he was helping in the city from which they reside in. And he's seen many battles, has had a few terrible run-ins, some causing many people to lose their lives, and hopefully this new group of people, he will make the right decisions and not get everybody killed. With that, I'll pass it over to James. James, go ahead.
Obviously, my name is James. My character is Mithrax, who's a human, mid-20s, warlock. A little bit of his backstory was not necessarily had a decent upbringing, but was not necessarily allowed to go out and kind of explore on his own, per se. Very, very, very interested in history, and very interested in using that history to not only learn about new places, but to use that and try to either prevent something from happening in the future, or trying to use it in some manner to help or whatnot in the future. Not necessarily, doesn't really like a lot of hand-to-hand combat. Prefers to kind of stay back and almost stay behind the front lines. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? He's kind of learning. Character's kind of learning to become a little more adventurous, a little more daring, shall we say, and possibility of leading to a new chapter in his life. Colton?
All right. Rob, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right.
And I'm Rob. My character in this whole thing is called Seamus. He is a half-elf, about 85 years old. His backstory is very... I almost want to say secretive. He doesn't really like talking about the past his past a whole lot, because way back in the day, the little village he was in was I'm trying to find how I want to explain this, so bear with me. Was pretty much just completely destroyed for no real reason, and he was able to kind of hide and escape with his life, but pretty much everybody and everything he knew was gone, and it struck him very deeply that he never wanted if it was within his power, he never wanted to let something like that happen to anybody else. So, that's about it. So.
Okay.
Do you want me to kind of give like a brief overview of our player that is missing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we do have another player. Unfortunately, he could not be here right now due to a family situation going on. That would be King Alpaca. I'm not going to disclose his name at this point in time. That's his decision if he's able to jump in a little bit later. He plays a Dragonborn that stands roughly a little bit less than 7 foot tall. He weighs a whole lot too, as Dragonborns tend to do. He plays a ranger that I can't disclose a whole bunch of his backstory right now, due to the fact that my other players don't really know that much about him yet. But he's holding his own so far with bow and arrow. See if we can get him in some closer range combat before long.
You called what happened last week holding his own?
Yes, I'm going to call that.
They're being very generous.
Okay. So, at this point, do we have any questions that have rolled in yet, Ironwolf?
No, we do not.
Okay. All right. So, I guess the best thing to do is give kind of like a brief overview of everything that's been going on so far. If anybody has any comments that they would like to make throughout the course of this, feel free. Just kind of chime in wherever you want. So the campaign started in the city of Esden, which is about right. Oh man, it's not letting me point. That direction. Trying to work with the background. It's not really wanting to work with me tonight. So, three of our characters, Mithrax, Seamus, and Ragnarok, all came into Esden without previously knowing each other. They all entered from different directions, and they wound their way with a little bit of incentive from the city guards to the center of the city and beheld a very serene statue of an ancient warrior in the middle of the, for lack of a better term, courtyard. At that point in time, there were three hooded figures completely decked out in black and with black cloaks. The city guards ended up taking them away, and that is how our three heroes, or companions, ended up meeting. They decided to have dinner together, so they went to this friendly little establishment that is ran by the wonderful Margaret. She treated them very hospitably and ended up comping their whole entire meal for them. They then in turn asked her if she knew of a good place to spend the night, and she pointed them in direction of the Unicorn. I believe that was Mithrax's favorite place in the whole world, and that's one little town. They met the innkeeper. His name was Nirnax. He was very hospitable as well, considering the debauchery that they got into that night. Shameless decided he was going to have a nightcap, and somehow convinced Mithrax and Ragnarok to join him. And yeah, Mithrax and Ragnarok got wasted.
And for the record, I did not approve of the debauchery.
So Seamus ended up helping Mithrax up to his... Well, actually, no, he carried him to his bed.
Nice.
Mithrax, if you want to defend yourself, now would be the time.
There's no defending that, so don't even try. There's no defending that.
To be fair, I did have quite a lot to drink.
Obviously, Seamus cannot carry this giant dragonborn up to his room, so it was a lot of support there. But eventually, Seamus
I was able to wake him.
Seamus got him woken up enough to get him up to his room.
Who knew if you poke him with a stick, he actually would wake up. I'm terrible. I'm sorry. I'm just stealing this from you for being this smart, Alec.
No, you're good. You're good. So they woke up the next day without going into detail about Ragnarok's dream, because I wouldn't let him go into detail about his dream. He basically had a dragon's wet dream that night.
Nice.
After an intoxicated state.
Wow.
Mithrax
Oh my!
decided to go a whole entire different route with his dream. Decided that he dreamed of an old lady. Little did he know that wasn't an old lady. He ended up meeting a goddess that he still does not know who the goddess is. I'm not revealing that tonight. He ended up meeting a goddess in his dream and poking fun at her.
Pissed it off.
She was not happy with him by the end of the dream, and he does not know what the consequences of that may or may not be at this point in time. Don't bring old ladies into my game where they don't belong. Mithrax. James has another RP character that he likes to do. That I
Do not do the
no,
voice.
We're not doing the voice.
Don't you dare.
We're not doing the voice tonight. Nope.
That don't.
Nope. James, we're not doing the voice.
That.
He is very fond of this character and tries to implement her in other locations where she does not belong. And has been shut down at every single crossroads so far.
Yep.
Pretty much.
But when they both woke up, Shamos woke up first, got Mithrax around. Eventually Ragnarok woke up and couldn't find the key to his room. Unfortunately, he did not realize that the room was able to be unlocked from the inside. So he spent about 5-10 minutes just stuck in his room.
Wow.
So they all concluded down to breakfast, and when they got done with that, they ended up finding out the totals to how much they had spent drinking the night before. It was a lot. Everybody was really surprised except for Shamos, who didn't spend a whole lot. When they went outside, they realized that a bunch of the city guard and cavalry soldiers were rushing to the center of the city, to the courtyard where they were yesterday. And they found out from them that the orcs were rebelling against the territory line that they have with Tareen. And Tareen was calling for aid from Alon. So, after a brief discussion with the captain, that is what he is known as, is just the captain, they decided that they were going to go help. There may or may not have been a little bit of a disagreement between Ragnarok and the captain. A little bit of a sassiness there. Our companions, they traveled for about 3 weeks on the road. Ran across a couple of dire wolves, which they fought at first, and then the wonderful Shamos, apparently savior of the companions before they met Killikas, managed to realize that the dire wolves were being protective of something, and convinced them to retreat. And so our companions moved on. After leaving a sacrificed deer or elk there for the dire wolves, because they never took that with them. James is just now realizing they didn't take the elk with them.
No, I know. I know
we
we didn't
knew.
take it.
And here's the thing: how are we supposed to know, Mr. Dungeon Master, that they weren't gonna come? We go over there, and they didn't. You didn't decide to be evil and have them ambush us.
Well, I mean, you don't know.
He's got a point.
You don't know, and that's one of the thrilling game things about this game.
That's
is-
why we did. So sorry that we didn't do exactly what you wanted. Actually, sorry, not sorry.
Actually, I really don't care. It's just an elk. But yeah, they continued on, and finally, after several weeks of travel, they reached the encampment that the captain told them to find. And upon arriving, they met Killikas in a fun and observant way. You know what? I'm going to let you describe that one for me.
We almost got trampled by his troops' horses.
44 to be exact.
And I need to reduce the stream because I keep looking at the stream instead of Discord to talk.
So, yeah, Killicast made quite a entrance.
Grand entrance. As
Got
they
out of the
say.
way just in time.
44 soldiers on horseback. That's a pretty grand entrance in my opinion. So they made their way with Killicast's help to the tent where the captain was meeting with the higher up military personnel, leading this encampment and leading the campaign for the dismissal of the orcs from the realm of Turin. They received new orders from the captain, which Killicast really just accepted without question.
Me and the captain go back a long way, though, so
Yeah, well,
when he says go, we go. We don't ask questions.
they,
Because there's usually a reason why.
they went on this mission for the captain to dispatch a band of orc scouts. And so they all, except for Killicast, bought new horses. Because Killicast doesn't like to walk.
No. No.
James, I'm going to let you to describe Mithrax's horse that he purchased.
It's a myth. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I'm just getting over a cold, so apologize about the coughing there. Anyway, Mithrax's horse, kind of a chestnut in color. Got a sort of a silverish mane and tail. Very pretty horse.
Did he name it?
I don't think he did name it.
Rob, if you want to go ahead and describe Seamus' horse.
Seamus got a gray and black horse with a lighter gray mane and tail that he calls Ghost.
Okay. Ragnarok not being here, ended up receiving a draft horse because of his stature. I don't remember what the description of the horse was, so I'm going to leave that for him. If he is able to get in tonight. If not, we'll do it another time. The party decided to take the road out of town with Killicast in the lead. Killicast can describe his horse now if you would like, because I forgot about him.
It's alright. So, my horse is a jet black with white manes and tail. And he has beautiful light blue eyes. He's about 15 hands tall, roughly.
How long has Killicast had his horse? Because obviously everybody else just got their horses.
Killicast has had his horse for quite some time. They have been inseparable in all types of situations. I think the horse is probably going on 9-10 years with Killicast.
Okay. 9 or 10 years of fighting with Killicast.
Yes.
That is a lot of encounters. It's a long time. So the party made their way to where the orc scouts were last known to be, and were rather surprised because they were riding along, talking, not being quiet at all. And these orcs appeared out of the wood line, and kind of surprised our heroes a little bit, but they were a good 50 feet away still, so it's not like the orcs could have attacked anybody right off the bat with a surprise attack. Just kind of surprised them with being that close. There were 8
Granted.
orcs.
The orcs didn't know we was coming through either, so
They
it was
did
kind
not.
of a surprise on both our parts.
Now, they were just trying to get out of the wood line. They were trying to make it a little bit easy traveling. But, yeah, there was definitely surprised on both sides of that.
Yeah.
There were 8 orcs in this party. So, Killicax made the first move. He kind of has a
Headlong.
weird perspective when it comes to fighting.
It be what it be.
Killicax just kind of charged in. It was like full tilt. I'm going for it. What was
Best-
Killicax thinking in that moment? Honestly,
Killicass was thinking at that moment, charge them before they have time to react. It was both a surprise on his part and their part, but had he waited to attack, he wouldn't have been able to get as good of a surprise hit on one of the orcs as if they would have seen him and started advancing towards them.
that worked in
Mhm.
regards to splitting their forces. It split pretty evenly. There were about 4 orcs that went after Killicax as he made his first headlong beeline through the troops, and about 4 of them decided to advance on the rest of the party, with Ragnarok, Seamus, and Mithrax being kind of left behind by Killicax. They did not
Very much
advance
so.
with him at all.
No.
So the song and dance begin. There's,
Literally.
there's
It was a
no-
long song and dance at that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Should not have thrown 8 at you. But being able to describe everything that happened it's hard to do, even for a DM. Killicax dispatched one
It took forever.
rather quickly off the bat, in a pretty weird way. There was a little back and forth there. Obviously, no one was able to touch Killicax. They tried several times. The first one that Killicax managed to dispatch had actually had Killicax on the ground in front of him after being thrown from his horse.
At his knees.
And the orc did not realize there was a tree behind him. And when he went full tilt over his head to bring the battle axe that he had down, he managed to get it stuck in the tree behind him.
Well, we all know orcs ain't the smartest.
Well, that may be the case, but I mean, like, tree.
Pay a little bit more attention to
Right.
your surroundings.
So he got the axe stuck in the tree, and that gave Killicax the opening that he needed to kill this orc. If I'm not mistaken, I had you describe that scene to me.
Mhm.
Uh,
It was very gruesome.
do you
Very
do you remember the exact detail that you went into?
So, as John mentioned, I got through from the horse. Killicax did. And ended up on his knees in front of this orc. And the orc getting his battle axe stuck in the tree gave him the advantage, as John said. And Killicax came up with his axe right up his midsection, splitting him open, and then across the throat. It was very gruesome. He was no longer clean, as we say. He was a little dirty.
He was covered in blood. Just go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
While that was going on, over in the non-wooded area where the rest of the party decided to stay, we had our resident warlock, James, Mithrax, managed to get, after several misses of Eldritch Blast, managed to land one, and it was a really powerful blast. So
You throw him back.
he managed to hit broad center on one of the orcs, almost blowing a hole in the chest. The blast itself actually ended up catching another one of the orcs aflame a little bit, doing a little bit of burning damage to him as well. James, why don't you go ahead and describe what that looked like from Mithrax's point of view, fire included. What's your Eldritch Blast look like?
I threw it. I threw it at him, and it just completely just threw him back. Threw the other orc that was standing near him. Kind of shocked him too. It was like, what the hell just happened?
So
And the other one's just completely just dead.
Eldritch Blast is a very visual thing. What colors make up your Eldritch Blast?
Mostly red, and it was red everywhere.
I like red.
Yes.
Alright, the bloodthirsty tiefling up there likes red. Alright, I get that.
Sorry.
Gee, I wonder why.
I don't know why. Hmm.
Let's think about that one.
Not too long after Mithrax managed to dispatch his orc that he almost blew a hole in with an Eldritch Blast.
Too bad he couldn't blow a hole in it.
Right.
Ragnarok actually managed to kill an orc as well. A well-placed arrow to the face, if
Yep.
I'm remembering correctly.
Yep.
I think so, yeah.
Like, after several misses, Ragnarok wasn't having a good night with aiming either. So, a well-placed arrow to the face, it's very effective, I guess is a great word to say.
Usually.
Yeah.
So,
If I get hit in the face with an arrow, it's going to knock me out.
About like a battle axe up through the midsection. It's usually pretty effective as well.
Ragnarok actually has a P emblem on his bow. I'm not going to disclose what that means because Ragnarok has not disclosed what that means to the party. But after he made that shot, he definitely put his hand over the emblem and said a few words that I don't think anybody else heard. So I'm not going to.
I wasn't always around.
No, you definitely. The Tiefling fighter definitely did not hear what was said 100 feet away.
He didn't know what was going on at all, period. He didn't know if they was still alive, what they was going on, or nothing. He had no clue, because he was probably, what'd you say, about
100 feet
100
at least.
feet out in the woods? Yeah.
100 feet at least. And 50 of that was woods. He was definitely further away than everybody else. Not too long after that happened, Seamus actually got his kill in. It was pretty effective. Seamus,
It was well earned too.
You want to
After
go ahead
almost
and
getting
tell
killed
us,
myself.
you want to tell us about your feat in battle? Go ahead with that.
Yes. I ended up attacking the orc from behind. I slammed my longsword through its back in so hard that it also came out its chest. It looked down and grabbed the sword in surprise and then fell to the ground dead. pulled the sword out of it and wiped off the blood on the orc's. You wiped off the blood from that orc on its tunic, and then that was pretty much it.
But the final kill, 5 total kills out of 8. The final kill went to Killicast as he was coming out of the wood line. Killicast, why don't you go ahead and tell us about that?
So after dispatching that one orc up through his midsection, and I think the other ones returned, did they not? Or started to return?
Oh no, they were there. They were all 3 right there.
Okay, so okay. Trying to remember everything. It's been a minute.
Oh yeah,
So,
a whole week.
yeah. He ran back to the rest of the force to check and make sure they was okay, how they was faring.
After he mounted his horse.
After I mounted the horse. And as he stepped out of the wood line, he sees Shamos's kill drop to his knees and fall face first into the dirt. And the other orcs, the last 3 remaining, I believe.
There were 3 still in the wood line with you, but there was
Okay.
1 running, basically retreating from these 3 party members in your direction.
So the one that was retreating was running headlong at me, at Killicast, and as he stepped out of the wood line, he had just enough time to react with his battle axe and catch the orc right in the neck, decapitating him. I guess it was like a luck of the draw type situation, because I mean, an orc running headlong and a horse running headlong, the force of the impact, I guess, sliced it like hot butter. But
Killicast's favorite substance.
Hey. And so he got the final kill out of that battle. And the other 3 retreated as well, except during the fear of what they have seen and witnessed, and not realizing the strength of the 4 party members, they run in the wrong direction towards the High Elf's kingdom. Don't think they're gonna make it, but only time will tell.
Yeah, they definitely didn't realize where they were going. Instead of running back to the main body of the orc encampment that is 2BD, because I don't want you guys to know where it's at yet. They definitely ran in the direction of Gondolin. Yeah, I honestly believe that the High Elves are probably on red alert right now. They're definitely watching what's going on. I don't think they're going to be too happy with 3 orcs just kind of running headlong at them.
I wouldn't be.
It's probably not a good recipe right there.
It's a recipe for death.
Yeah, well, pretty much. But yeah, so these orcs were a pretty trying first encounter, really, for you guys' first battle as a group. What were you guys thinking about that?
I was thinking, can I just get a damn hit? And I'm sure Ragnarok had the same. Yeah.
I was honestly concerned with the party members that I kind of Killicast sort of took underneath his wing, not knowing them at all, not knowing their abilities, not knowing anything or about them or why they're even here, because in his eyes they did not look nothing like warriors. But after that battle, he has started to realize that maybe he's got a good team with him this time. A nice small team, unlike his whole crew of 44. It's going to be a lot easier to get around undetected.
And that may be the case, but honestly, you have 44 well-trained warriors at Killicax's back. That's got to be an effective force when it comes to having to handle their own business.
Yep.
What kind of makes, up to your discretion about what Killicax discloses, because this is definitely his backstory. How does that kind of come about? Just having 44 warriors just like at your disposal.
Well, I mean, it's nice because Killicast doesn't have to be right on the front lines. He can be standing back, kind of directing, as they say, and overseeing the entire operation.
See, I don't see that because the little time I've known Killicax, he doesn't seem like the kind of stand back and direct type. He seems more like I'm going to be right there in the middle of everything.
But not when he's got his whole crew with him, his whole small army, militia, whatever you want to call it. Because they've been with him for a while as well, and they can handle their own fairly well. Now, don't get me wrong, Killicast is obviously going to get in there and have plenty of bloodshed, but...
Bloodthirsty.
Here he goes with the blood again.
But he sort of just lets his men handle things that are... I don't know how to say this.
Beneath him?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Like, that's beneath my skill set. You guys go ahead and take care of that for me.
But he does get in and fight with him.
Oh, of course.
Because every good leader will. But for the most part, he's out helping in the command part of it. He doesn't like it, of course. But the captain looks to him to be there whenever they're coming up with game plans, missions, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so I want to touch on this real quick, and then I'm gonna move on to Mithrax and kind of get his views on a few things. So the captain requested your unit.
My unit?
Yeah.
Oh.
The captain sent a letter for
your
unit to show up and fight alongside them. What does Killicax think about that?
Killicast, his group of people is mercenaries, as they say. He doesn't work for any particular army. He's just sort of hired in whenever he's needed. His skill set. Killicast, he is still very quiet about his headquarters where he is actually working out of, because still yet and for centuries the city that holds this military unit is still unknown to the rest of the world. it's hidden very well. A lot of what makes up a lot of the city is refugees from outlying lands. Like, for example, the battle axe that Killicass carries was forged by a dwarf from the north. The dwarf got separated from his unit, and the tiefling people found him, and he was in rough shape, bad shape. Didn't know if they was going to make it. And so they took him back to their city and made him vow not to disclose their location, and that he could work for this unit, this militia, in forging weapons and selling goods to the townsfolk. And if he was to break that vow, then he would be put to death. And along with the rest of his family, if they could find them. But the tieflings have worked in many different parts of the world with many different nobles, private militaries, other military groups. So they have allies everywhere.
Okay, I want to jump to Mithrax.
Yes.
Let's get your opinion about what's been going on so far, and about the party members. Like, you kind of got thrown in there. What's Mithrax thinking?
I was not expecting to be thrown right into the thick of battle so quick. Let's get that out there.
3 sessions.
No time like the present.
It took me 3
Thanks,
sessions.
Seamus. Thank you, Seamus. Yeah, I think, Mithrax is one that, like I said before, when I introduced him, kind of likes to stay back a little bit and not necessarily get right up there at the front lines. Obviously, he will if necessary, not his preference. I wasn't quite sure. I'd never met these guys before. I didn't know anything about them. Are we going to be able? Am I going to survive with these guys or whatnot? They seemed cool, so I was like, oh, all right, let's go ahead and go on with it. But I wasn't sure about Killicass either, because Killicass was kind of doing it to the point, and I am not taking any guff. I am as hard-nosed and as hard-edged. You will not break me. I am here. I am military, and you're going to do what I say, or I'm going to throw you in the brig.
Okay, so there is one piece that I do want to bring up about Ragnarok. I definitely, this was one of the funniest things that has happened within the campaign so far. I'm sure it's going to get better, but this was hilarious.
When does he not do something that's funny? I mean, come on.
It is Ragnarok.
So
He opens his mouth and funny crap happens.
Before they met Killicass, our party members were coming down the hill to come into this encampment, and they were trying to decide who was going to speak on the party's behalf. Ragnarok comes up with the idea of playing Nose Goes to see who has to talk for the party, and anyone who knows about Dragonborn, they don't really have so much of a nose as they do a snout. And the Dragonborn was to play Nose Goes. Everybody plays along, and I start rolling laughing. As the DM, I'm busting up because Ragnarok doesn't realize that he doesn't have a nose. Like, he thought this was a great idea until I had to point out that Dragonborns don't have noses.
It was actually funny. The look on his face was like,
Oh my gosh.
so wait. Oh shit.
Like it was,
I think
it was
That
hilarious.
just watching that come across his face was just so friggin' hilarious. I wish we would have had that on recording.
I do as well. Unfortunately, I was not set up to record at that point in time. Session 4 and further, from session 4 on out, I will be recording it myself and uploading it to my YouTube channel.
I will be streaming it on Iron Wolf Gaming on Twitch, and I believe Kevin will be too.
Okay.
I might on my YouTube channel, Twitch channel, once I get everything set up with this computer.
Nice. So back to Mithrax, because we kind of took the limelight away from him a little bit.
That's okay. He deserves to lose it.
So
Wow, what did I do to you?
you gave
You were
me...
born, bitch.
Oh wow, that's
Wow, whoa.
Woof.
Jeez.
Sorry.
17 years of friendship just down the drain. Okay.
All right, so we kind of got Mithrax's take on Killicass. What does he think about Shamos and Ragnarok? Like, he's been traveling with them for a little bit longer, so
I think
kind of have impressions.
Mithrax thinks Ragnarok is accident prone. Shall we say? The intentions are good. Maybe not accident prone. Maybe that's not the best word. The intentions are good, but things just never seem to go his way.
Unlucky.
No matter what.
He's unlucky.
Yes. And he likes to drink a lot.
Well, that happened once, all right? Give him a little bit of slack. It happened to you, too.
Well,
And he drank more than you.
he's also bigger than me.
Well, so? He still drank more than you. He did outdrink you. By all means of the...
I'm not going to deny that. I am not going to deny that he outdrank me.
What about Seamus? I mean, he's kind of took you underneath his wing. He helped you get to bed after drinking so much.
He is.
So
He did take me under his wing, but I still think he's a bitch.
Wow.
strong
No, I don't
words.
think that.
Strong words.
Oh, there,
Wow.
there it is.
A bit. Okay, I have
No.
to sidebar this real quick. Computer
I don't think-
and I have known each other since 2005.
James.
on
James.
that note, I'm going to take a little bit of an intermission myself. Iron Wolf, if you want to keep this going, I'll be right back.
All right.
Uh-oh. Something just went wrong?
And now it's just Celium. That's all we
Hey.
see.
At least now we can see the entire map.
No, most of it anyway.
Yeah, I think the southern half is cut off still, but
Yeah, southern half's cut off. Anyway, no, Seamus, you are not a bitch. You have been a good companion. And you seem to be a little bit better fighter than Ragnarok.
I seem
If
to
he
be
finds that-
better than you, too.
I didn't say that.
No, I
Don't
did.
be putting words in my mouth. Don't be putting words in my mouth.
I didn't put words in your mouth. I'm just flat out saying it.
I also think Seamus has a big ego too.
I'm
good times.
giving you crap. I don't have an ego. At least Seamus doesn't have an ego.
I was gonna say, do you want to rephrase that?
Pot or kettle?
Neither, because my ego's so small I could fit in the Big Bang.
Your ego is so large, that's the reason why you bought a Lincoln Town car.
Whoa, hang on! Don't talk about my ego.
We weren't talking about you. We were talking about James.
Man,
Unless you
I
also
leave for
drive
2
a-
minutes.
I was gonna say, what? Do you also drive a Lincoln Town car?
No, I do not. And that is
No,
the
he
one
has
thing, that is the
he
one thing
drives
I
a
do
truck.
want to talk about.
He has to drive a truck to carry around his ego.
Yeah, I put it in the
Yeah,
bed.
I was gonna say, yeah, and it has, yeah, with lights and sirens that go wee woo, wee woo.
That is definitely something I do want to bring up. Due to the fact that a lot of people think that D&D being a nerd's game, which, yeah, I'll agree, it really is. I'll be the first one to call
Look at
myself
you.
a nerd. Shut up, James.
Look at you.
Shut up, James. So I'll be the first one to call myself a nerd for enjoying a fantasy-based role-playing game. It is using your imagination and coming up with creative problem-solving issues. I love it. I absolutely do. I wouldn't be here if I didn't. But on a real note, I actually work for my county as a deputy sheriff, and I know Iron Wolf, like you do pretty important stuff within
Yep,
the
mental health.
the mental health realm.
Yep.
Rob, you basically a programmer. Honestly, that's basically what you do.
Yep, I'm a software developer working for the automotive sector.
James being the odd man out. He doesn't have a cool job like the rest of us.
I'm a salesman, hence the suit.
Yeah, you don't sell us on very much though.
If you can use what I could sell you, I'll sell you anything. I'll sell you water to a fish.
Nah, I prefer energy drinks myself. That's what keeps me going. But yeah, the whole...
You can drink monsters? Ugh.
It's not a monster. Shut up. No, actually this one is a Rainbow Unicorn Bang. I'm not...
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
I enjoy the flavor. Shut up. No, like...
The straightest man here has a rainbow unicorn drink.
Wow, he just called you gay as well. Rob?
Wait, I didn't get called anything.
Yeah, he said I was the straightest man here. So he says you have
Oh.
tendencies.
Actually, no, and my wife will attest to that.
You're right, I'm not married, so
I am.
yeah, you got me beat on that front.
And James was my best man, so he knows,
So,
and he thinks of my wife as a little sister. So
but yeah,
little.
you got people all around
yeah, she's
that love this game. They tend to hide it, thinking that it's gonna bring downcast upon them. Just because you like playing this game, it's not a downgrade. It's nothing to be ashamed of. You know, a lot of people think law enforcement, being in the mental health services, those are very stressful jobs. And, I like the fact that I've got somewhere I can go to really just mellow out, chill out, have some fun, and not have to worry about the day-to-day stuff that happens within my county. So, that I appreciate being able to do this and being able to facilitate a good game for everyone to have fun with. I really don't care how the story ends up. Like, as long as you guys are having fun, that's the most important.
So you don't
part.
care if one of us dies?
Well, I mean, I've been working to try to kill off your character for a while now. It hasn't worked yet.
he's like a cockroach.
So what does that make you, Keith Richards?
Wow.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Wow. On that note, we're going to switch over to Seamus.
Yes, I think that's a very good idea that you changed the subject. before I give Mr. James over there a piece of my mind.
Seamus.
Mr. It's the middle of winter, and he's running an air conditioning unit, even though he's up in the northern part of the country, like me.
I'm in a full suit.
Seamus.
I'm burning up.
Seamus.
I
we're gonna swap to your character and get your opinions on these other characters that you're rolling with right now.
They're an odd duo, but it beats they're an odd duo indeed. Ragnarok and Mithrax. I think Mithrax he says he's sheltered, but I think that is to say an understatement is very, he's extremely sheltered. Ragnarok, I wonder if he is on something, because there are times where I don't know what he's doing. But there are good guys
That's one
to
way
be
to put
around, and it beats traveling on my own.
Okay, so how does
And they're good companions.
How does Seamus feel about Killikas being the newest addition that came in?
Killikas scares me.
I
Actually,
was
no.
There's a hush that came across the
Wow, I was like, you gonna say something?
Is it going to be something I like?
The man, he is definitely a badass. I respect. When I first saw him, I had respect for him from how he carried himself and around his men.
He definitely had
And we'll see
sass.
how this goes.
Definitely had some sass with him. I'll give you that. Killikas had a lot of sass in the very
I
beginning.
didn't say fast.
Oh, but he did. You can't lie
yes.
about that.
Everybody in this group has sass. I mean, come on.
I don't know what you're talking about. I got none of it.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was between Mithrax and Killikas, but Killikas kind of like dismissed Mithrax.
Yes, he did.
You're gonna listen to me. That is basically how Killikas came across in the very, very beginning. Like, I'm in charge now. Shut up. You're gonna do what I say. I mean, sometimes it's needed, but yeah.
I didn't hear any better ideas. His made sense.
Killikas,
Doesn't matter to me.
he's a hard ass, but he has to be for his type of work that he does, and the type of situations and events that he has found himself in his previous experiences. Eventually, he may come around and lighten up a little bit. Eventually.
My favorite Killikas quote so far. I'm gonna share with you what my favorite Killikas quote is.
Oh boy.
You don't have horses?
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, we walked. Just like
Why? Why do you walk? Yeah.
Oh my
None
God.
of my crew will not have, or my crew will always have a horse. Whoever rides with me, they better be on a horse. At least at the start,
Oh,
to
good
get where we're
God.
going.
Oh my God, that was my favorite Killikas. You don't have horses?
I
What?
like that.
the moment where he realized that, I think that was the moment where Killikas was like, "Oh God, what did I do?"
Yep.
Who did I decide to take under my wing?
Yeah.
It's a good
Captain
thing.
had a bit of
The moment Killikas
Doubt?
realized, at this point, he knew he fucked up.
yep.
Yeah, the surprise was definitely there. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's like, okay, he's bringing a lot of depth into this, especially joining in session 3. These party members already were pretty familiar with each other. Killicast was definitely coming in as the odd man out. As a player, how did that feel to you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I
No,
mean,
the little Oompa Loompa next to you.
oh,
Yeah,
Oh.
go find one of your dogs.
I'm surprised they ain't in here, to be honest with you.
But yeah,
Coming
in session 3.
coming into session 3 it was different because I didn't know what to expect. I mean, that was literally my very first D&D play ever. Never touched it, never thought about it. That was it. That was number one. Coming in as a new player, literally, into a group that's already had 2 sessions under their belts, I was lost. But
you didn't show it because
I was like, you did not show it.
You did a hell of a lot better than we did in our first 2 sessions. But you're also a veteran D&D player, where James, Alpaca, and I are plebs.
Actually, that was Iron Wolf's very first session of D&D ever.
that was my very first session ever.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was his first session.
The what? I quit.
But
I quit. So you're a pleb. The way you acted in oh my god, I am a terrible role player. I just need to quit right while I'm ahead.
No,
Yes, you do.
not allowed.
Yes,
No,
you do.
no,
Get out.
Shut up,
Get out.
Rex.
Get out.
James,
So-
remember this. I know where you live, and I know where you sleep at night.
Remember this. I know where you live, and I know where you sleep at night.
All right, I'm getting stalker vibes. I'm shutting that down right now.
And I can get
I
there
will
on a
say-
tank of gas.
Iron Wolf did a lot of research that I actually was present for. Before he joined the campaign, he was watching.
shout out to Critical Role.
Yeah, definitely a shout
Gotta
out to
love
Matt Mercer,
Matt Mercer and his crew.
and his crew of Critical Role. They do a phenomenal job of running their campaigns and their one shots, and he is definitely Matt Mercer is definitely a veteran among the D&D community. Phenomenal work as a DM. Really something to aim for as a budding DM. But Iron Wolf really did his research on it and watched a lot of Critical Role to see how they do things and kind of incorporated that in his own way. So that's why he came across as he did in his very first session.
So
And it
it's
showed.
not that I haven't played, I just watched, if that makes sense. And picked up on parts here and there through Critical Role and Matt Mercer and all of them guys. That is actually what drove me to wanting to play D&D was Critical Role and Matt Mercer. When I started watching, I think we started in campaign 2, was it not?
I actually did not begin watching Critical Role until Exandria Unlimited. That was the first little bit I got to see, and Matt Mercer was not DM that game for that little. It's a one shot that lasted about nine sessions.
It was good.
Yeah, it was phenomenal, and Matt Mercer is a character. Whew. Matt Mercer, he is a great DM. He is a phenomenal player.
Yep.
He really brought a whole new meaning to that.
Oh,
Wow, we are being
And the
joined
alpaca.
by King Alpaca himself, otherwise known in the campaign as Ragnarok. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How's everyone doing tonight?
Oh, doing really
doing
well.
fantastic.
Doing good.
Thanks for joining.
How's everything going? Of course. How's everyone doing?
Great. We've been kind of discussing everything. Did a
Okay.
overview of what has happened in the campaign so far, and
Awesome.
kind of got
Including
everybody's.
bloopers by a certain somebody
Uh,
that has a snout
Wait,
instead of a
wait,
nose.
what?
we
What's
had
that?
we had to go over the nose goes incident.
Oh, yes. Apparently, y'all, guess what? Dragons don't have noses. It would take a
clap.
dragon to know his own body parts, but hey,
know?
guess what? I don't have a nose.
I still think it was so funny. Watching your face when he said that, all of a sudden, is like a wave of like, oh.
Oh man, I did that.
Honestly, I think the last time I was that shocked was, I don't even know. I'm still dumbfounded. Like, you know, you would think since every other animal has a nose that a dragon would have a nose.
Nope.
So
They have a
nose
snout.
goes seemed like the most logical option. But guess what, folks? They don't.
They have
Well,
snouts, not
technically,
noses.
they have a snout, which is, So,
But you know what else has a snout?
keep it
A
PG.
pug. A pug.
Well,
pug.
dogs unfortunately have smash faces, so just say a dog in general has a snout.
Not all dogs have snouts. Some of them have noses. But anyway, we're not going to get off topic.
All right,
late.
so what I want to do,
Too late.
what I want to do, since King Alpaca is just now joining us, I did a little bit of an introduction for your character. It was not, it was
Great.
very brief. I would like you to go ahead and introduce yourself and introduce your character of Ragnarok.
Wow. All right. Well, I am King Alpaca. And have you guys talked about Code 7 yet at all?
I have.
Not yet.
Yes.
A little bit.
So I'm going to start there. So I got the Code 7 project started. I just wanted to find a nice area for all of my friends to kind of game under that people would not feel pressured to join, you know, an area that people could feel safe to be themselves. You know, you don't have to be afraid to join Code 7. I mean, I've met so many fun people online, so I was like, you know what, I want to form a platform where people across all platforms can come. You know, we can all game together, even if like you don't want to. You know, we can have numerous different game nights going, all that stuff. So Code 7 came to fruition, and one of our first big projects was D&D. So our game master, John, was very kind to, I'm trying to be nice. He was very kind to start, you notice I didn't say the other thing, but he was very kind to start our first D&D in the wonderful world of Cilium. So as I have been so wonderfully introduced, hold on, let me just make sure I'm going the right way on this highway, because I don't want to be going south. So I am Ragnarok, and Ragnarok is kind of an interesting character. So, as we've discovered, Ragnarok does not know his own body. So
He's
he is
sassy
a
as all
dragon.
hell.
Yeah, oh, very sassy, much like the person who is playing him.
Can,
This
yeah.
So-
gets him in a lot of trouble.
Yes. So, Ragnarok
Especially with Mead.
has everyone's best interest. Okay, so you know, we've Ragnarok is. I'm trying to think if I had to describe him. He's just. You gotta love Ragnarok for who he is. You know, he's like the puppy. They might irritate the hell out of you, but you still love him.
So darn cute.
Yeah, exactly. You just want to walk up and pinch his cheeks and be like, "Oh, Ragnarok, you don't have a nose, and you don't know that, but you're still so cute." So,
You can reach him.
Yeah, no, he's, you know, it's hard to talk about him because when I created him, you know, this is my first campaign I've done, and I've wanted to do D&D for the longest time, but You know, I got to be really honest. When oh god, I'm not supposed to be on this road. Hold on. I'm supposed to be on 202, but I'm on 179, and I don't know how I got there. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. So anyway, so yeah, so he's kind of evolved over time, and I'm kind of just, you know, the beautiful thing about D&D is that your character can evolve much like a human can evolve.
Mhm.
And so it's really been fun to watch Ragnarok, who was very reserved and kind of kept to himself, evolve into somebody who is a little bit more outgoing. And I don't know the right words to describe him, if that makes sense.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I just think he's lovable. You know, you gotta love Ragnarok for who he is. You know, he always somehow finds a way to fuck up.
Yes.
Apparently, it's happened before.
Especially by
And
opening his mouth.
I don't think what.
Especially by opening his mouth to the
Yeah,
captain.
you know, Ragnarok is somebody who should just be quiet, but he's not. And because he's not quiet, he gets himself in trouble by very important people, or he finds himself passed out at a bar because he thought he could outdrink an Irish elf. And if there's one thing about the Irish, you can't outdrink them,
Nope.
no matter how hard you try.
So
And I
want to go
and I
in the
didn't even think
direction-
he. And I didn't even think he was trying to outdrink me. I was just enjoying my mead.
So I want to go in the direction of I've asked everybody else this for their characters.
Yes.
Ragnarok, like I want to know what his feelings are towards Seamus and Mithrax, but I also want to know what his opinion of Killicass is, because Killicass is so recent of a join and kind of came across as a little bit of a hard ass at first. So I want to get your opinion on all three of those characters.
So there's a little secret about Ragnarok that he hasn't told anyone yet. But, because he's not ready to. But, he's very intrigued by Killicass.
Oh,
And we're just talking in the subtext of our characters, so this won't come out right away. But Ragnarok kind of likes the hard assness,
Okay.
and you know, with Seamus and the other one,
the other one.
I'm just referred to as the other one now.
And the thing is, that's how we all usually refer to him anyway. So, way to go!
Wow.
So, in relation to them, you know, you know, look, Ragnarok, when he first, hold on. Sorry, 1 second. Hold that thought.
I don't know how we're
We now
supposed to
interrupt
hold
this
his.
program for a special weather bulletin.
Let's go to a commercial break. Just go sleepies for the rest of your life.
And here's James with sports.
Oh, James is the last person you want to talk about sports. He thinks basketball's football. Anyway,
So there's a large winter storm moving across the central and northern plains.
oh yeah,
tonight
no,
and
have him
tomorrow.
talk weather. So,
No. You
Anyway,
don't want him to
I'm back.
talk
I
weather,
don't-
You'll die of boredom.
yeah, I don't want anybody to fall
James
asleep
mad
over
about
here.
that?
But so you know, Ragnarok has had a couple of weeks to get to know, or I guess a couple months now, like get just the coolest thing since sliced bread because he finally met someone secretly who can drink him under the table. And Ragnarok has a past. Are we sharing on the context of this is stuff that could be that if I say this, it's going to affect the campaign? Or are we just talking about our characters?
We're just talking about our characters, but I'm not going to have anybody
Cool.
share anything
So-
they're not willing to share.
Well, yes, but like if I start sharing stuff, is it going to be stuff that can held against me when we actually get into a campaign?
No, and
No,
anything
no.
that
Okay.
is discussed here is not character knowledge; it's player knowledge.
Perfect. So, yeah, with just, Ragnarok's had a tough past. So Ragnarok was, his parents were very, very, very well known in the area that he grew up in. And, he couldn't grow to be his own person. And, so Ragnarok, what's it called? Ragnarok,
Rebelled.
What?
Rebelled.
Phone just came unplugged from my car.
Technical issues, they exist.
Yep.
All right, so Ragnarok, he was used to living in his parents' shadow, and one day, he finally got in a fight with them and ended up leaving his home. And so he's been on his own for a while, and one of the first people he met while he was on his own was a ranger who was named Padros, Padros, and he kind of taught him basic skills of survival. And Ragnarok really owes everything to Padros, and so Padros helped him get his first bow and arrow and his first dagger and all that stuff, to the point that Ragnarok has such an appreciation for him on his actual weaponry. He has a P etched into it in his honor. And so they were out one afternoon, and Padros and Ragnarok came across a beast, and unfortunately, Ragnarok made it out of the battle, but Padros did not.
Oh.
And so, ever since that day, Ragnarok has really been recovering, and he's really been recovering and just trying to figure out what is life past this moment. And I've just been kind of wondering. It completely changed his personality. He's so much more reserved now, and he'll have moments where he does come out of his shell, but it's hard for him because of this, and try to figure out how to outgrow this, and worrying about how his decisions are going to affect his life.
Well, I guess that sums up Ragnarok pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what was your take on the first real combat encounter that you guys had? Because I kind of went over that with everybody. I talked about your kill that you got, the arrow to the face of an orc.
I did. I arrowed an orc in the face, and it was fucking gnarly. No, I loved it. I loved the battle. It was a lot. It's like I said, it's my first campaign. My first campaign, and our air quote game master decided that he was going to throw 8 orcs at us, and it was just like a scene out of Looney Tunes when the head spins. That's how I felt. I thought,
Yep.
I thought this was going to be nice and easy. nice and easy. Nice
How do
and
you think
easy.
I felt? That
And
was
then-
my first ever D&D session.
Yeah, but you
ever.
know what? You know what, Killicass? You are his cousin. You should expect it.
I do not. Nope.
Hey, apparently he doesn't claim me, so.
Well, I'm sorry, but you're not, John. You're not a dependent anymore. But
Ouch.
that went over everyone's head. I was talking about taxes.
I got it.
I was never his dependent, so.
So, anyway, so I loved it. You know, it was, you know, with 8 orcs, you really had to draw out every individual battle picture to get the full grasp over what was going on. And
We're
I
working on
did
getting the right software to
Yeah.
be able to do that and place markers for you guys as well and be able to move them
Yeah.
around. Right now, we do not have the programming to be able to do that, so we're working with what we've got so far.
Yeah.
I do have plans for the future, but it's going to take some time to be able to get to the level that I wanted at.
yeah, and you know, I did the first couple of rounds, but it was just like, oh my god, like I have to keep drawing these little individuals, like trying to draw a chessboard. I was like, I can't.
Yeah, imagine how I feel.
Well, let's ask the programmer here.
I am keeping track of all of you guys, plus the 8 orcs, and keeping track of what they're doing. I have 8 characters I'm playing.
It was a lot.
Yeah, have fun
you
with
know,
that.
and anyway, so, God, my ears are burning off in the car. Hold on. This just in, Dragon lost his ears. Do dragons have ears? Do we
No,
know?
they do
Can I have a
not.
fact check? So how the fuck am I supposed to hear?
You have holes in the side of your head.
Oh my god.
I didn't know we were allowed to say fuck this entire time. I thought we were trying to keep it
Oops.
PG-13.
Well, I mean, it kind of went out the window when King Alpaca came in.
Yeah, things usually go out the window when he joins, so it's okay.
My apologies, chaps. I will switch to proper English language now.
Oh, are you gonna
Would you
start
like
talking
some
to
tea
Queens?
and a cookie?
It's a
Come
crumpet.
on, you're not doing it properly. Come on.
What about Queens? I didn't know Mithrax was in the room.
I said speaking the
Too
Queen,
odd.
like the Queen's English, you punk.
Oh,
Do I look like a queen to you?
Yes.
yes, you do, but you don't have her hair, so if
It has gone
No,
off
but-
the rails again. It has.
No,
gone
but
off
I
the
know
rails
somebody who
again.
does have that hair.
Whoa! Don't bring my hair into this.
I ain't talking about you, John. We already know you're a queen.
oh my god,
In the next, R.I.P. Mitrax. We barely
How
knew
does
you.
Mithrax dies in the next campaign? Or the next session.
yeah. So can I ask a question? Can I just kind of want to hijack the conversation for a second because I feel like I did when I joined, so I kind of want to keep that that momentum going. So this is more so a question for my fellow members here.
Oh, so the DM just kind of
Why-
gets pushed to the side again. I see how it is.
Yep.
What-
Exactly.
How? So we've all thought of our characters, and we spent extensive time with them at this point. And how do you think? Because we all know how this might end. If it ends this way, how do you think your character is going to die?
Wow, what? You guys are making me out to be evil. Jeez.
You are evil.
Yeah.
Let's get real here.
8 orcs.
I mean, Dungeon Masters in general, aren't they supposed to be evil people? I mean, come on.
Hang on. Seamus was the only one that even came close to death, okay?
Yeah, and
Especially,
yes.
especially,
What, 3 times in a row?
No, just
I
once.
kept getting crit hits.
especially DMs named John.
Wow, that's that is hateful.
Something tells me he's gonna have you do so many saving rolls when you're on your horse, Mithrax, since you cannot ride a horse to save your life, that you're gonna end up headfirst in a tree with 2 health when
Well,
we get
that-
another direwolf pack.
That's how I'm gonna die.
Yeah, being a direwolf's lunch.
So
Oh
I'm
god, he has an evil grin on
Well-
his face.
I think Seamus is gonna have a barrel of meat roll on him, and that's how he's gonna die.
You're
And I think
confusing me with
Ragnarok's-
you.
No. Ragnarok's gonna fall off his horse.
Yeah, Ragnarok's gonna try to drink Shamos again, and then Ragnarok's not gonna wake up the next morning.
I mean,
No,
that basically happened the first
what
time.
will end up happening is Ragnarok will get drunk again. Sheamus will challenge him to a horse race, and he'll fall off. He will fall off and go face first into a tree.
I'm hoping my character does not die
I don't want my character to die either. to be
because I
honest.
have plans for the future with said character.
That's irrelevant.
Interesting.
You do realize you should not have told John that because now he's gonna find a way to kill you.
No, that's
No.
not true.
So
Bullshit.
I would just like to say, can we break the D&D rolls for a second?
Whoa.
We've been doing
And
that.
I want to
almost
be
all
killed.
night.
I
Yeah.
want to be killed. I want to be trampled by a llama.
By a llama.
That would be oddly poetic.
And I want
Wow.
the llama. I want the llama to be ridden by that captain that I told off. I just want him to get so fast that he just runs me over with a llama.
Oh, good God.
That would be
Wow.
so ironic and
The
so
alpaca
hilarious.
was killed by an alpaca. Oh my god.
Oh,
That would be too much.
I appreciate all of your guys' ideas on how to kill off your characters, but
But that's not the point. We're not supposed to. We're not supposed to
Llama
die.
or bust, game master. Llama or bust.
Here's,
It's
and here's
Dungeon
the
Master,
thing.
not Game Master.
Here's the thing. He's not kidding either.
I-
He will figure out a way to make you have him get run over by a llama.
He can't force me to make him get ran over by a llama even if he wanted to try.
Ragnarok got run over by a llama.
Oh God, he's already got a song.
Legendary.
Their house Christmas Eve.
After drinking lots of meat on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. He'd been drinking too much mead with Seamus. And as for me, Thrax, he believed. Bum, bum, bum.
And Mithrax was already under the table.
Oh my god. And the game master was shaking his head at the scene that was unfolding. Killicast
Oh,
pulled out his dagger and stabbed them all. Bum, bum, bum.
Oh,
But
good God.
anyway.
yeah, I'm hoping my character will survive this escapade and be able to progress.
Well,
on
I don't know,
further.
Killicast. You seem to have some issues with your horse last week.
Killicast didn't have any issues
So I
with
just-
his horse.
What?
I mean, he fell off in
Yeah, he did.
battle.
That's actually
Yes.
the worst time to have horse issues is in battle.
Yeah, I was still in the stable. So, like, if you know, God forbid something happens to Oliver, at least I'm in the stable.
Wow.
I named my horse Oliver.
Oh, good gosh.
Anybody who watches Top Gear will get that reference.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Oliver!
I'm gonna start calling your horse Oliver Twist.
No.
Do it. Do it.
Too bad it'd be DMCA, but other than Alpaca, James and I, have you guys seen Colton John? Have you guys seen Top Gear, the old Top Gear?
Hmm.
I watched a couple episodes, but I didn't really
Okay,
get into
it comes from their Africa special, and
Their first one.
their first Africa special.
I'm going to take a little intermission. I'll be
Yeah.
right back.
You guys need to
Okay.
go watch that episode because it is hilarious.
The challenge was to buy, what was it, for $1,000 or $1,500? Buy cheap cars in Botswana and drive it all the way across the country.
See, it's really not my thing. You know, I'm more of as you can tell, I'm more of an RPG fantasy. Like I really enjoy the fantasy stuff. You know, violence is my thing.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you're not watching like live streams of Halo Infinite all day.
Me?
Fantasy and violence, right there. Yeah.
Nah, I really don't watch a whole lot of live streams. You know, I like fantasy TV shows, fantasy movies, but
I
a lot of
see.
the action stuff I get, you know, comes from my line of work. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty
Well.
action packed enough.
I was
Yeah,
that's
you
to be
don't need-
expected.
Yeah, you don't need there any more of that. You don't need anything else going on in your life. It's already having all the.
I do just for King Alpaca. I do have to do a thing.
My ears
I
are
noticed.
listening. My fake ears are listening, I should say, because apparently I can't hear or smell.
It's not really a tell you thing. It's more of a doing the thing. I shall return in a moment.
You
That's
stay
fine.
out of your police outfit.
There you go, King Alpaca.
Oh. What?
There you go.
Oh boy. Do I have to unlock my phone? I am operating a motor vehicle. Is it safe for me to look?
He has some of his tactical gear on.
We're on Twitch. We're on Twitch. We're on Twitch.
This is more of a show
Well, I
to where everybody who may be watching or who may watch this in the future, definitely not lying. Definitely in law enforcement. So
Alpaca, just as soon as you get home, slide into his DMs.
yeah, don't slide in my
So, here's all I will say. And I will keep it nice. Why'd you pull me over, officer?
I definitely did not.
Whoa.
Just,
So I pulled you over? Whoa.
definitely no. I'm staying out of that situation completely.
Mm-hmm. Sure, Jan.
Smart man.
But yeah, I feel like this has been a really productive conversation about the campaign so far.
Yep.
What's
Oh, I thought you were going to say about you being a police officer. I was going to say, yeah, I agree.
yeah, I definitely am. Definitely out there doing the good work, keeping.
And there's
people
nothing
safe.
wrong with playing D&D.
No.
Absolutely not.
Nah, if a bad person like myself can play it, I'm
Bad.
mental
Bad.
health associate can play it.
Yep.
The failing salesperson.
Wow.
Oh.
The
I'm definitely not going to sell anything to you now. I don't want to do business with you at all.
the genius
I think that's
programmer.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And
Thank
the
you.
the
You're
wonderful leader of the future generations that is King Alpaca.
Lord help us all.
Oh, I'm a leader? Wait, oh no, we're not talking about my job, are we?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Oh boy.
President King Alpaca.
Leader of
So,
the future generations.
I would like to thank the Academy. What?
Leader of the future
Lord-
generations.
Lord help our
Oh.
future generations.
So I have a story to share, something that happened today. So
Remember, we are live.
no, I know, and these people are going to remain anonymous just because. So I had a student come up to me today, and I told him that he needed to quit calling out because we're working on raising hands in class and all that. So another teacher starts talking, and he looks at me, and I go to tell him something, and he looks at me, and goes, and I'm just going to say this for not a mistake. He goes, Mr. King Alpaca. He goes, you're calling out. Quit calling out. Quit interrupting. And I look at him, I go, I'm not interrupting, I'm helping. And in his most innocent 6-year-old voice, he looks at me and goes, well, then are you calling in?
That's great.
Then
Nice.
I had a fourth grader. My first ever lesson with this individual. I told them that they had the most beautiful singing voice. And she looks at me, or they look at me, they look at me without skipping a beat and go, well, yeah. They go, well, yeah, it's because I'm Asian.
Wow.
Oh, geez.
And I was just like, it's one of the few times I've ever been speechless while teaching. So,
Oh, jeez.
anyway, who's
People say
in
the
chat
damnedest
tonight?
things.
Is anybody in chat tonight?
Blabby's in chat.
No, we're
Blabby.
leaving Blabby outside where she belongs.
Turbo and
Blabby's
Turbo
holding a
is
sign
me,
up that
so
says-
yeah. It's
Who's
just
in there?
nobody's really in chat. It's just
Okay.
James and James trying to be Blabby in the chat.
Got it.
All of
He's
Blabby's
being an
questions
idiot.
Got
have
it.
been null and voided. We are not submitting her questions for review.
Good.
So
Wow.
it has definitely been a productive conversation.
Yep.
I am very happy with where everybody is within the campaign. I'm glad everybody's having fun. It's really
John,
really
you're doing
good
a
thing.
fantastic job.
Yes.
Sometimes
Yes.
I do not believe that you guys feel that way.
Oh, when you throw
Well,
8
when you
orcs
say
at us
we're
for
gonna
our
end-
first
when you
battle.
say we're gonna hold on. When you say we're gonna end at 10 and we go till 11:45, then yes. But overall,
But
I'm
to
having
be
a great
fair,
time.
that he kind of over cheesed it with testing our battle.
Yeah, but you know what? He hasn't told
readiness.
you. But the next one's gonna have 12 orcs and 3 beasts. So
Whoa, hold up! You don't know what I'm planning.
I do. I broke into your house and looked at your planning board.
Now, how did you do that? And this is something I do want to bring up because this is absolutely amazing. There are more groups that are doing this, but the fact that this D&D campaign is completely remote.
Yep.
Yes.
Myself and,
It definitely-
and Iron Wolf are located in Arkansas.
Yeah.
I believe James and Rob are both located in Ohio.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then King Alpaca, New Jersey, correct?
Yes.
So, like this campaign is reaching across multiple states and
Yes.
bringing different time zones together to facilitate in this game. That is just amazing to me, considering this D&D started as a tabletop in person. Like you guys would have to be in the same room with us to be able to play. It's absolutely amazing how far it's come.
Yep.
Gotta love technology and the internet.
And you got to thank technology, the internet, and most importantly Discord for making that happen. I mean,
Yes.
There's been, video chats evolved just in the last 15 years. We've gone from AOL Instant Messenger, which was, in my
Oh my
opinion, the
God.
breakthrough, all the way. There was Skype, and then there was Uvu, and then there was back to Skype, and then Yahoo, and just
Oh my
watching
god,
everything
Uvu.
evolve. Watching everything evolve into what's become, into what has become Discord. is
Yep.
just it's unbelievable. I mean, it's the perfect platform.
Yeah, because I don't really have a
Oh.
map behind me.
Yeah. I do have to take a quick side note. The ground is white in New Jersey right now. Apparently, it snowed like considerably today.
Wow.
You
it-
can
it
keep that.
there.
Keep it.
Yeah, I don't want it though. Look. I ditched the keys for the Honda and became a lesbian driving a Subaru, but that doesn't mean I want snow.
And that's where we go from PG. We try to up it again from PG-13.
No, he just wants blown head gaskets.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
I will even defend Subaru with that. They fixed that.
They have
They
fixed
did.
it, yeah. You know, even Consumer Reports is saying that issue stopped
They
in
have.
2018. So,
Yeah, and there's certain engines like the 2.0s.
wait, is
never
this
did-
my?
I think the 2.0s were safe, and the 3.6s were safe. It was the 2.5s which were the ones that are most notorious for it.
And guess what engine King Alpaca has in his Crosstrek?
The
2.5.
2.5.
2.5.
Nah, you'll be fine.
So just because, as John was saying earlier, just because we're hundreds of thousands of miles apart does not mean we still cannot have a D&D.
I don't believe any
Hundreds
of
of
us are
thousands of
hundreds of
miles
thousands,
apart.
but we are thousands.
Hundreds too.
Hey, Colin, who
I was
which
saying,
one of us
man, are
was
we-
on Mars?
Yeah, we got people on Mars and Venus and Saturn.
Hey, it'd be cool,
if
though.
I
I
can
mean,
get
if
any
you
of
want me-
and if I can get any of our Australian friends in on this, we
We'd be
will
all
go
around the
in-
world.
We will be going
Yeah.
all around the world with this, but
You'd be
unfortunately,
worldwide, yo.
none of them will join
It-
so far.
I was
We'll
gonna
put the
say,
meaning in
it's
the
like-
World Wide Web, yo. DND.World Wide Web.
But here's the thing: for all of them, it's like noonish right now.
Yeah,
I am aware.
they're all working or at school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am definitely aware of the time constraints. And nobody wants to be up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to play D&D.
Yep.
No.
Well, there's some hard dedicated players that probably wouldn't care.
well,
My brother.
none of them are here.
Time out. My brother has been playing D&D for about 7 years. And he goes to me the other night after we finished our last one. He goes, man, I played D&D last night. I'm like, oh yeah? He goes, I go, how long was it? Like an hour, 2 hours? He goes, nope. We started at 9 o'clock, and guess what time we were done? I said, I don't know, 11? He goes, nope. 3 a.m.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and you guys complained about the session lasting an hour over.
All right, John. Those are fighting words. I will send the snow to your state.
Do it, I drive a truck.
That don't mean
Do you have
shit.
snow tires?
They actually provide us with snow tires and 4-wheel drive.
4-wheel drive doesn't.
Ooh.
With the snow tires help with, especially with 4-wheel drive, but 4-wheel drive doesn't guarantee shit. 4-wheel up in Ohio, at least up in anywhere in the snow belt,
Spit it out. Spit it out.
4-wheel drives without snow tires, you're going in a ditch because most of them can't drive for shit.
Well, I mean, it's a good thing I'm trained to drive then, huh?
Just because you're trying to drive doesn't mean you won't drive like shit though.
Look at Rob. He's got a CDL. He still drives like an ass.
Still
It's
drive better
true.
than you.
This is also true.
Also, shout out to our fire service member. I don't know if you're currently affiliated right now, Iron Wolf, but you have had extensive background in firefighting, and shout out to
Yep.
you. Another reason to say that just because, you know, all except for James have these great jobs that don't normally get associated with D&D doesn't mean they can't be a D&D player and have fun with it.
I was gonna say mine definitely gets attributed to D&D because I'm a software developer. I'm a
Yeah,
nerd
well, I mean...
by trade. My nerdiness knows no bounds because I'm BSing with you guys. I have a Halo Infinite stream up I'm partially watching, listening to, and I'm doing other stuff for that I showed you guys earlier.
Yeah, you're.
And don't even get him don't even get him started on cars. You want to talk about nerds?
Yep.
Pot or kettle? Pot or kettle?
Which one you want
I'm
to be,
just
James?
saying.
You want to
I'm
be the
just
pot or the
saying.
kettle?
I'm just saying.
You are as
It
bad, if
totally
not
admit.
worse.
I will totally admit to being a complete nerd about cars,
Good.
and I will not be shy about that.
Good.
I mean,
Considering you and I go to the Cleveland Auto Show almost every year.
That's touche. And
Right.
considering I want to get a third,
We're the. Huh?
and considering I still want to get a third,
Oh, a third car?
yes.
what are we at time frame, Iron Wolf? Do you know?
We are racking in there close to 2 hours.
Oh, God, it's been 2 hours.
Yeah,
Hour and 50 minutes.
We've been discussing
Oh my God.
this for a good hot minute now.
No kidding.
All right, let's switch the topic from D&D to speed dating. Here we go.
Negative.
Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
You
Negative.
Do, you do not have permission to land here.
All right, we're playing Never Have I Ever.
Nope.
No.
So, with that being said, is there any last minute comments, concerns, plans,
Question.
questions?
I have a concern.
Oh God.
Go ahead.
Oh, your first mistake was giving me the microphone.
Well, I mean, you did say you had a concern, and might as well get it out there now.
Concerns related to
My
D&D.
second is that I cannot fully make Ragnarok his own character without getting shut down by the game master.
I will not let you
Because I
change
would-
the attributes of having ears and noses. It's not gonna work. All right.
I don't think he's
All I
talking
want
about
is
that.
all I want, first of all, no, I wasn't. But now that we're on that topic, all I want is a beautiful nose job. If Kim Kardashian can have a nose job, my dragon could get a little prosthetic. You know what? Screw the Kardashians. If Michael Jackson can get a prosthetic nose that can fall off, I can have a nose that can stay on.
All right. I'll make you a deal. You ready for this?
Yes.
Good lord.
You find a single.
I'm not paying gold.
No, if you can find a single plastic surgeon in all of Cilium, I'll let you have a nose job.
Oh, well, you better watch me for this entire campaign. Every time I go in a city now. Hello, sir. I need a nose.
You're gonna get a lot of views.
Secondly,
He does
I
not
that'll
know.
never happen
about
for $100.
expressing my feelings about certain dreams that I have had.
No, we're not going into AO rated dreams. It's not happening.
Exactly my point.
Okay, if you really want to go into this, we need to be offline.
I don't want to hear it.
So, John's like, we can stay online for the rest of the night. I don't care.
I do not. I actually did touch upon the fact that you tried to earlier at the beginning of the sessions, the stream. I did touch on the fact about the dreams and the overview, and then I did state that I did move on from your the equivalent of a dragon's wet dream rather quickly.
Oh, it was a time. It was a time. So,
Give
are
it
you
about
guys
another
there?
5 more minutes, and then we'll call it a night at 2 hours.
Perfect.
So, any
So it's-
concerns that are not going to get immediately shut down by the DM?
Why hasn't Blabby shown up yet?
And that's one that's going to get shut down by the DM immediately. For good reason.
Why? Because you don't want to see Blabby coming in here?
Blobby's not making her way into Cilium. It's not happening. She got her her paperwork to be admitted on a visa has been permanently destroyed. Ragnarok blew fire on it.
Oh my god. But he blew fire when he was trying to get his nose?
Probably.
I was totally expecting a reaction there. Very disappointed I didn't get one. Oh,
I
man.
think he might be ignoring me now.
What?
Yep, confirmed. Confirmed.
It's all over
Confirmed.
a nose. A nose, really?
Well,
Nose, no bounds. You
again,
knew.
I'm Iron Wolf Gaming.
So what body parts do I have? I could say foot goes. I'm King Alpaca Gaming, and I want a nose.
We will be streaming D&D here on Iron Wolf Gaming
Yes.
every Wednesday night at 7
7
Central Time?
7 Central, 8 Eastern. Also look for the videos if you are not able to come to the live stream for the session. Check out our videos, which will be uploaded to Luminar Gaming on YouTube.
Yep.
We are in the process of actually having a TikTok account created for Cilium, where we will be posting
Oh, cool.
little clips for the campaign.
Awesome.
Once we find a really good name that kind of branches out from Code 7 a little bit, but Code 7's still part of our
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be Code 7. Yep.
Yeah.
That's where we started. We're going to stick to them roots.
We're still going to be associated with Code 7,
Yep.
thanks to King Alpaca and his wonderful group of management and, for lack of a better term, designers for Code 7. It's a really great team to be associated with, really great team to work with.
It's a really great community, too. It's not a community, it's a family.
Yes.
Well, except for James.
Oh my god.
I love you too, John.
I know you do. It's okay.
Now go rot in the hole.
Nothing but love here.
But
Except for John. Nobody likes John.
Nobody does. It's okay.
No. Even his own relatives can't stand him.
This is true. They move away from me.
hey. Anything else? Hopefully we can figure out a way to get the maps to show up on the streams. That way the chat and everybody can see what's going on. And myself and King Alpaca Gaming has overlays that will be working as well. So that's going to be awesome.
Well, I mean, honestly, we're just trying to really branch out. As far as maps go, I believe that myself and Iron Wolf are really trying to focus in on for the battle map portions of it. We're really trying to focus in on a way to make that work in the time being before we can get the programs that we need to be able to mark everybody's location and to update it in real time.
That's one of the disadvantages to being remote.
Yes, I can't just put figurines down on a table and, that be how it works. Really, the electronic has not really came as far as what the tabletop has, you guys, and that's just where we're at. If we get financial backing, if this really explodes and gets on a good level and we do start getting sponsors or anything like that, that we will then immediately, for those sponsors that want to give items for the D&D campaign, by all means, that would be great. For me,
Okay.
me and
We can talk after this because I'm having several. I have multiple ideas here. So
right. As far as like me and Iron Wolf have kind of discussed a little bit. If we get any backers that want to do kind of like a cash kind of support thing, those funds would then immediately go into supporting anything that we would need for the D&D campaign, and it would not be a monetary compensation for myself or the players for having fun. We would then take anything that was sent through that and put it right back into the game to make it better for you guys, to make it better for stream
Audience.
purposes, for the audience that wants to see this. So this is definitely not for profit. That I'm not doing this for profit. I hope you guys aren't doing this for profit, because that's just not the direction that this D&D campaign is going to go. We're here to have fun and make it the best and really be able to dive into it. I mean, that's just my position on it.
All right.
I agree.
I agree as well. Is there anything else? If not, then we look forward to seeing each and every one of you, audience from all over the world.
I'd like
You
to
can
start a
come.
fundraising campaign for my nose.
Wow.
denied.
Anyways,
Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining in.
we will be here next Wednesday evening at 7 Central, 8 Eastern.